Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a question that touches on faith, free will, and the big mysteries of life. If you've ever heard someone say, "I have no choice, no option, as I am already written in God's book. Why care?" You might have been left wondering, what does that really mean? And how do we respond? Well, in this video, we're going to break down what this statement might mean, why people say it, and most importantly, how we can respond thoughtfully with empathy and understanding. Let's get into it. First, let's unpack this statement. When someone says, "I have no choice, no option, as I am already written in God's book. Why care?" They're often expressing a belief in predestination. Predestination is the idea that everything in life, including our futures, is already planned or determined by God. It's a powerful belief. It can feel comforting for some people, like there's a divine plan guiding their life. But it can also feel disempowering to others, like they have no agency or responsibility over their actions. So, the big question becomes, if everything is already written, what's the point in caring about the choices we make? Why bother trying to change or act differently? To answer that, we have to look at two big concepts that often seem at odds with each other: predestination and free will. Predestination suggests that our lives are part of a divine plan already written in God's book. Free will, on the other hand, says we have the ability to make our own choices, shape our futures, and control our actions. So, how do these two ideas fit together? Are we truly predestined, or do we have control over our lives? Many religious traditions believe that God's plan and human free will can exist together. Think about it. Just because God has a plan for us doesn't mean we're just puppets. The idea is that we still have the freedom to make choices, even within the framework of that plan. One way to respond to this idea is by saying something like, "It's true that many people believe God has a plan for us, and that can be comforting. But many also believe that we still have the freedom to choose how we live within that plan." Just because God knows what's going to happen doesn't mean we don't have a role in how we respond to life's challenges. Another important point to bring up is the idea that having a purpose doesn't mean we're powerless. Even if we believe everything is part of a bigger plan, it's still worth caring about our actions and decisions. You could respond by saying, even if we're part of a divine plan, our choices still matter. God might have a purpose for us, but we're also given the freedom to live it out through our actions. The things we care about and the ways we treat others have significance, both for us and the people around us. Faith isn't just about sitting back and waiting for everything to unfold. It's about engaging with the world and taking meaningful action that reflects your beliefs. When we feel like everything is predetermined, it can be easy to slip into passivity, but faith often calls us to act. You might say something like, "Faith doesn't mean we just accept everything as it is. It's about trusting that we have a role to play. Even if we don't fully understand the bigger picture, our actions today still matter." And maybe that's part of the divine plan: to care, to love, and to make a positive impact on the world around us. Finally, one of the most important things to remember is that the mystery of how divine will and human freedom work together is something that even the greatest theologians have struggled to answer. It's not always easy to understand. You can respond by acknowledging this mystery. There's a lot we don't understand about how God's will and our free choices work together. But one thing many people believe is that our responses to life, how we love, how we act, how we choose to be, still matter. Our choices have meaning, even if we can't see the whole picture. Lastly, in many religious traditions, love and compassion are the foundation of everything. Even if life is part of a divine plan, caring for others and engaging in the world with love isn't something to take lightly. You could gently say, even if our lives are written in God's book, many people believe that how we show love, kindness, and compassion to others is central to our purpose. These acts might be part of what God wants from us, regardless of whether we know the exact details of the plan. At the end of the day, whether we believe in predestination or free will, we can choose to care. Caring doesn't mean we have all the answers. It means we're willing to engage with life in a meaningful way. So, the next time someone asks, "Why care if everything is already written?" You can gently remind them that while we may not fully understand how everything fits together, our choices, our actions, and our love still matter. And that's something we can all hold on to. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and of course, subscribe for more discussions like this one. Until next time, take care, and remember, your choices do matter.